I got a PA. That's where we're going to set up today. Cardboard. Power cords. And the speaker. So for the setup today, I'm gonna have a DJ over there, and I want to have the PA as close to the console as possible. My console will be in that area. I'm gonna try to put the PA and the sub as close to the front line of the stage there, because as you can see, those little speaker there, I'm gonna use the built-in kit of the house as delay. So basically I want to put the PA as close as possible to the 0.0, which is a little further back, but I'm gonna delay the kit by a few feet, and that should make it. And all the other 6 bucks are gonna be used for delay. So I'm gonna set up the sub to the side, and we're gonna stack 2 bucks on top of it. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. The two LA112 are standing on the side of a KS 212C. Those are the cardioid sub. I put it on the side so it doesn't wobble too much, and so far seems stable. The top of the top box is almost 8 feet high. I'm 5'6" with my arm raised to the top, and I'm not reaching, so it's almost maybe 7.5 foot high. Anyway, it's tall enough that it will go over people's heads when they are in the room there. I'm gonna reach the full room. The only thing that I don't know is if the sub to top ratio will be enough, but that's gonna be for later in the video. Stick around. I will do a sound test. The first thing I want to do is wire up this thing. I'll show you guys in a few seconds how every time you deploy a LA12 you need to set up the kit. I'm gonna wait that we're done with XLR or network, because I think I'm gonna connect the kit network this time. So I'm gonna run the kit using Dante. I'm gonna use a small jumper in between the 2 bucks, and I'm gonna use a longer cable to get to my console, or on the other side I'm doing it with a switch. Everything go through a switch, and everything is talking to everything. My console is going to be here, so I'm going to have plenty of cable to go there. And for the sub that I have don't have any Dante connection, so I'm just going to run analog. And because of that, I'm going to use sub on a Knox, so that way I'll be able to balance the probably unbalanced ratio of 2 top for 1 sub in this config. Let's see. Subs are going to be mono, by the way. Usually, I'm going to show you guys later, but I have a truss here where I hang these bucks with a bumper and connect everything to the truss Dante, so there's no wire coming to the ground. Looks amazing. This is a corporate venue, so look is important. I want to make sure that stuff looks clean, so I'm not just going to wrap my cable around like that. I'm going to wire up the XLR, wire up the network. I'm going to come back with a Velcro or black tape, gonna make sure that this is straight going to the sub, and make sure that everything look like there's no cable, or as much as possible. And now everything is connected to Dante. Let's clean up and fire this thing up. Close enough for rock and roll. And we're gonna set up an array of 2 bucks. Turning green, turning green. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that we got this done, I'm gonna make sure that everything is correctly set up on the network. I'm gonna give the box a name. I'm gonna give them number instead of having them called LA, whatever that name is, from the software. And I will probably give them a static IP. More on that in the software, but basically I want to make sure that every time these bucks are set up, I want to know which one goes where. They're gonna have probably a name and number here, so I know which one is basically default PA left, default PA right, and I'm gonna run those in pairs, so that way if I'm using Dante, I can just know which one will be left and which one will be right. Let's fire that software up. The first thing that I do now that I have everything connected, I rename all the bucks so I know which one is which physically. I've already renamed a few. This is going to be my company GLI Audio LA112 number 3. I'm going to press apply on that. I'm in Dante Controller, by the way, if you guys are not familiar with that. So in Dante Controller, that's good. And once that's reset, I'm gonna change the IP from being automatically assigned by the device. I'm gonna give it a manual IP 169.254.1112 because it's an LA112, and box 3 is gonna be address 30. Net mask of 255.255.0.0, and I'm gonna do that basically for all the boxes, giving them every single box a different IP here. Number 1 is 10, number 2 is 20, number 3 is 30, and you guessed right, for number 4 is gonna be 40. Let me show you my setup that I have in this room here. I have the glorious, famous, known for different reasons, TF1, and basically all the other device on my Dante network, everything is on primary. It's not a redundant, so this is why you have or don't have any secondary address. I did rename the LA112 before patching it because the IP address doesn't really matter, or not matter as much as the name when it comes to Dante. If I were to change the name of this box for this one, unplug and replug, all the device will reconnect according to the name, not according to the IP address. This is not how it works. So the name of the device matter a lot. For the routing, we're gonna go, the transmitter will be our Yamaha NY64 card. I'm just gonna open up all the box here. A lot of the box are gonna be open like this, and we want to send out the stereo of the console. So stereo left is gonna go in my first box, or box 1 and 2 for my array. 3 and 4 are gonna be for the right. And if I did everything correctly on my end, I should just be ready to fire. And there it is. Time to fire it up. I don't know if I'm gonna get any copyright strikes, so let's see if I need to cut some part of that video out, but let's see if the box are working. I'm getting a signal light in the back, which is amazing. I'm gonna go take a look at the front. Let's go on the other side because this side is working. Let's go. Yes, let's look at the config of the array. Okay, I'm gonna change that from no sub to with sub to 100 hertz because I believe this is the cutting point for these. We're gonna take a look actually. 100. We're gonna make sure that we have a 100 hertz config low cut on these box. And I think if you're doing it on one side, it's gonna go and do it on every single box, and yes, it did. So let's see if it did on the other side, if I only needed to do it on one side. But because they are connected together, the low cut point did follow. So thumbs up, QSC for that. Love the feature. It did not follow on the other side, so I'm gonna just manually do 100 hertz, and it should follow on this one. It did. To me, it's a successful operation. It works. I'm gonna need to get rid of all these boxes there, and we're gonna have an event. And seriously, please, so far by how it sounds, it's just reacting really well. So basically the system is using these infrared ports to know where the box is in the stack, so it will know if this is the first box, the second box, and how many there is in the array. So this is how it can automatically set up itself and calculate the, you know, the summation of the angle. It's basically going to take care of itself, and it's going to EQ whatever that they have tested in the laboratory to make sure that these boxes are flat or as sound the way that they should, basically. So just to give you an update, guys, I've already sound checked my DJ. I'm pretty much good for an event right now. I will bring you guys in later, but right now is going to be the boring part of waiting. And yeah, we're ready to have a great party in this room. This is a 85-foot glass ceiling. On one side is building front. This is what you see right there. This is true building. This is not, you know, for fun. Back in the 90s, this used to be a dead end street that was leading there, but they built building around it, and at some point somebody put a glass roof on it. And on this side is 7th floor of aluminum front with glass. You think that the acoustic would be atrocious in this room, but it's not. Honestly, not that bad, because all this surface on this side is not even. The high beam is 85 foot high. The motor hang that hold the truss is 75 foot, and all the cable coming from the ceiling are 100 feet run to get there. Like that, everything is back. I didn't film a loadout. You guys seen a loadout before. It took me basically 15 minutes to roll the kit, like click done, straight in the tote bag out the door. Another easy gig. It's been a while since I did a vlog, so thank you guys for watching. Expect more vlog in the near future. It's been a pleasure. My name is Guillaume, and until the next one, I want you guys to please take care of yourself, and I see you all later.